Welcome back to another episode of Casa de Confidence. And today is Giving Tuesday. Well, at least for me, it is. If you're catching this episode on another day, well, I hope you're having a great day no matter what. The reason I wanted to do a solo episode today is because something has really been on my mind lately. And really, this is all about the power of resilience in giving back. And you may say, I don't know how that ties together, but hear me out. I do have a way in which I want to kind of bring it together for you, for me, and for our community. So stay tuned because at the end of this episode, you're going to walk away with some very clear tangibles that will help you get unstuck, but most importantly, make you feel good while creating an impact on the lives of others. Now, I want to start with a quick story. This past weekend, I went to see my girlfriend. She has a beautiful new apartment in Mystic, Connecticut, and she was having a get together. I was so excited about this because I have not seen her and other girlfriends since we came back from our girls' trip in Nashville. And again, I just love these amazing women because they're so uplifting, incredible, strong, determined, kind. And these are the people that I love being surrounded with, right? So I got myself together to go, and I was running out of the house with just enough time to make it to my other girlfriend's house where I was going to leave my car so we could drive together. And as I got in the car, I realized that I did not have my girlfriend Dawn's address. Okay, I've been to her house tons of times, but apparently I just don't know how to get there. So I texted her, said, "What's your address again?" So I can put it into the GPS. And I did. She sent it to me and I pressed, oh, navigate. And I got on the road. And of course, I was really in my head as I was driving and I was not really paying attention. I was listening to a great book, by the way. And again, just kind of trying to be in the present moment and get excited. But at the same time, traffic was insane. I don't know what it is about Connecticut in the holiday time, but people drive like nut houses. So I was getting a little nervous as I drove, and all of a sudden I hit the highway, hit 91, and it was a parking lot. I looked around me and I thought, ugh, I had just enough time to get to Dawn's house. Now we're going to be late getting to Paula's house. Okay, no problem. It is what it is. I don't have control over that. And then I continued to kind of be in my own head and kind of let the navigation go. And I'm paying attention to the traffic and paying attention to the crazies who are trying to sneak by and who are just slamming on their brakes at the last minute. And I kept thinking, wow, this is a lot of traffic. And I was really caught up in that moment. As I continued to drive, I looked at the side and I thought, normally when Dan drives, we take that exit to go to Dawn's. But I thought, you know what? The navigation is probably taking me a new way considering that there's traffic. So I kept going, I kept going. And finally, right, I passed all the traffic and I knew that I had, well, typically maybe another half hour to go to Dawn's. And I looked down at my navigation and it said I was 3 miles away. And all of a sudden, this uh-oh feeling came upon me. And I thought, oh, wait a minute, 3 miles away. And I pulled over to the side at the rest stop and I started to look through the navigation and I thought, where is this navigating to? Well, apparently in Connecticut, there are streets that are named the same in different towns. Go figure. Who knew that? So apparently, I was navigating to a southern town in the middle of the state in the mountains, as opposed to going to a town on the shore north of where I am. So I called Dawn and I said, hey, this is what happened, and I don't think I'm going to make it in time for us to leave to go to Paula's house. Why don't you just leave? And she said, no, 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 I'll I'll wait for you. Just where are you? And I shared my location with her. She's like, where the heck is that? And we were kind of trying to figure out, and she's like, just get on the highway and go back. Get on the highway and go back, and then take the regular road. And I said, all right, I'll do that. And of course, I hate going back. I really, really, really hate going back. And I started to look through the navigation and different routes, and I thought, why is it making me backtrack when I can technically take this road that has 10 miles less and it's more of a direct route? So I thought, why the not? Let me do that. So I decided to navigate through that route. Little did I know that that route was going to be all back roads, and some of these were not necessarily paved roads, and some of them were in very, very rural Connecticut. Believe it or not, Connecticut is can be very rural, and these winding roads where you can go 25 miles per hour at least, almost rather, are not the kind of roads that I really like to drive in. I'm a city girl, so give me a highway any day. But these roads, not my fave. Thank God it wasn't raining. Thank God it wasn't foggy. Thank God it was a light day still. And as I going through these roads, I kept thinking, you got to be kidding me. I don't even know where I am. If I lose signal, no one's going to know where to find me or what I'm doing, or I'm not even going to know how to get here. And it really struck me how the same thing happens with our business, right? It happens that sometimes we just kind of have an idea where we want to go and we kind of have a sort of a plan and we start to follow, but we're not paying attention to the plan. And the next thing you know, we're at a place that we don't anticipate because life happens, like traffic happened to me. And then the same way as life was happening, I wasn't really paying attention because I could have really caught my mistake of navigating to the wrong place much earlier. But because I was in my head and not really paying attention to where I was going, then all of that happened and it delayed me. At the end of the day, I got to my friend's house an hour late. Well, an hour from the time I noticed that I was navigating to the wrong place. And thankfully, she waited for me because she had other stuff going on. And I really was reminded that in our business, having a clear, concise plan is important. And by the way, this attracts or tracks for your life as well, whether you have a business and maybe you are a stay-at-home mom or perhaps you work in a corporate environment. Goals and a destination is quite important. But the other piece that is important is also knowing that the route that you are taking is the best route. And sometimes we don't know if the best route is the one we are taking until we're actually on the route. And perhaps we don't pick accordingly. But all we can do is really pay attention to where we are and try to navigate that road the best possible way that we can. A lot of times for business owners, we kind of give ourselves such a difficult time when we go the wrong way, when we are stagnant and stuck in traffic, when we don't pay attention to where we want to go, when we don't arrive at the time that we wanted to be there. So it's very important as we're starting to wrap up the year. And honestly, this is advice for any time of year that you really give yourself a break because overcoming challenges and getting to the places where we want to be requires a lot of different things. And one of the true things that it requires is resiliency. Now, I want to introduce another concept because today is Giving Tuesday. And I want to reflect on the fact that for me, Giving Tuesday is an important day. There's so many different organizations that are doing some phenomenal work, that are really investing in communities and people. And now more than ever, we need to make sure that we find the people that are aligned to our values and partner with them. Partner with them so that they too can continue to meet their goals, arrive at their destination, serve people, and really create better communities. When we give back and when we partner with others who are giving back, it will propel all of us forward. Now, the power of resilience really takes a lot of small actions. And once you begin to bounce back and be resilient, you will find that it can create change. Just like being generous to others can create change. So, first of all, I want you to think about how in your life and business you have had transitions and why those transitions were incredible lessons for you and were stepping stones to where you are today. Most of us look at challenges and look at difficulties in life as this terrible storm that we are going through. And we focus on how wet the storm is and how the wind can be blowing, but we don't focus on the gifts that can't be part of the storm. In the same way, there's many people out there that are going through storms, and we can be the gift for them, not only through our daily actions, but also by supporting organizations that are the gift to them in difficult times. I want you to think about as you're going through storms or as you're looking to participate in supporting other organizations, what are your resources? What is your time? What is your perspective? What is your treasure that you can give back to others? I also want you to think about that as we are going through difficult times, we need to be grateful. Gratitude is the incredible gift that will help our heart keep going, that will help our hearts see the expansion of things. When I first moved to Connecticut, I really was so intent and concentrating that I no longer lived in New York City, that I no longer live in Manhattan. I focus on how I lived a block from Central Park before and now I didn't. I focus on the fact that I could walk to the river and see the water and just feel calm. I focus on the part that there were so many different things going on that I had accessibility to everything. And I did not focus on the gifts that I had here. And for the first few years in Connecticut, it was very difficult to really feel like I belong. Why? Because I was not grateful for what I had. And then one day I started to really be grateful. Number one, I was always grateful for my husband, but I started to really be grateful about where I am. I live in a home that is cozy and comfortable and just for us. We also live in a place where I'm surrounded by incredible individuals and friends and have created a great circle of friends. And for me, what I realized is that I was cheating myself of living a fulfilled, happy, content life by focusing on what I didn't already have. I was focusing on the past as opposed to living in the present, seeing the gift. And there's so many different things now that as I focus on my life here, I realize that everything is a gift. I've met some incredible friends. I've become involved in some wonderful organization. I've had some great laughs with the people here. And when I've needed love, support, all of these people have been here for me. And, I can go into different stories of how they've done that. But really, truly, when we give to others and focus on being present, not only will it help us be resilient, will it help us show up again, but it will take away that focus on the things that we cannot control. Because the one thing that we can control is how we are choosing to show up. Now, this doesn't happen overnight, by the way. This can be just a small action, tiny habits. These are the things that we can create. Set a framework for how you want to live in gratitude. Maybe that means giving back. Maybe that means saying thank you on a daily basis to at least one person that does something for you. Maybe that means writing in your gratitude journal. Maybe that means just sitting quietly with your heart and saying, okay, what am I grateful for today? So these are a lot of different ways in which you can create that gratitude for yourself. And next, give gratitude and help those who are giving to others as well. I want to challenge you to volunteer with a local organization, or perhaps, like I said, find the charities that are aligned with your values and begin to find ways in which you can support them. Perhaps you cannot support them with money, but you can support them with sharing their mission or understanding what they're looking to do and connecting them with the right resources. Again, there's so many different things that we take for granted that we can do because we don't pay attention that we have gifts that somebody else needs and wants. So share your resources, mentor, and be the giving person to the people who are also giving to others. Now, next, I want you to embrace your vision for the future. When we are looking at our business and when we're looking at the different goals that we have in life, if we do not have a clear picture of where we want to be, then it's going to be very difficult for us today to live in a way that is intentional. You know, when I navigated to the wrong place, I kind of thought where I was going, but I didn't really pay attention to make sure I had the right address and town in there. I might have had the right number and street name. But little things like that can really derail you. So before you get into the muck of being in the wrong place, sit down, take the moment to really say, where am I going? And then look at the route because, hey, had I looked at the route and saw that this was not taking me to the shore, it would have saved me an hour of time. And now I can go back and I'm not living in the regret of losing that whole hour because I actually got to find a couple different wineries that I'm going to go and visit. There are in places that I've never visited before. So there is a gift in being lost. And then it also gave me the opportunity to be in the car a little longer and to listen to one of the books that I've been reading, which, by the way, I highly recommend this book to you. And I'm going to tell you who it is. It's Change Your Mind, Change Your Reality by Chris Ashley. And I so recommend this book because it's all about the possible outcomes that we can have when we really create that new story and belief systems and really embrace them so that our everyday reality can change. Now, my friends, I want to give you a call to action today. Number one, I want you to find ways in which you can be grateful. Number two, I want you to find organizations that are doing some wonderful work in your communities and figure out a way, whether it be time, treasure, or talent, that you are supporting them. And number three, I want you to navigate to the future that you desire. Be clear, create consistent daily action, and then get the accountability that you need. For me, I am so excited that I have a community, the Confident You community, in which we together set these goals and then create daily actions and accountability for each other. We also, I'm excited, my CEO retreat is going to be coming up in January 11th of 2025. If you're listening to this in some other year in the future, go to my website, goconfidentlycoaching.com, because any type of event or teaching or workshop will be listed there. Now, as far as the retreat coming up, this is a great opportunity for you to find the tools to not only create the roadmap, but also the steps to get to your destination for your life, for your business, and build the confidence that you deserve. So today, go and find that person that you want to be in the future. Go and ask them, how did you get there? And map it out, and then create the plan. Now, I want to leave you with this quote. Growth is not just about what we achieve, but also about what we give. When we lift others, we rise together. So thank you, my friends, for tuning in. And don't forget, go confidently in the direction of your dreams.